Let's take a closer look at the East. We showed you some of the games with help from Tissot. We are going on the clock, and we'll hit some of the teams we saw, but let's start, obviously, with the big news with Kyrie. The Celtics now where they stand. We saw the Wizards, kind of a back-and-forth game. That may be their matchup, Candace. What about the Celtics, at least in the first round without a Kyrie Irving?
Well, I think the Celtics in the first round, for me, just as a result of their defense, number one team in the league with defense, and obviously Kyrie's a huge part of what they do on the offensive end, but they do step up their game a little bit with him off the floor defensively. They're long on the perimeter, obviously with Tatum and Brown, but they don't have that closer in Kyrie Irving, where he's that ISO master that can get them a bucket whenever they need it in those broken plays.
You look at the standings. I know you watched Wall a lot tonight, Shaq. What did you see? Because he'd be a key in that series.
They could have won that game, but he made 4 crucial mistakes coming down the stretch. When you're a great player, sometimes you have to analyze and say, okay, I'm the best player on the floor, but this guy's one of the best shooters in the league. Got to make sure he gets the shot. He took 2 bad shots. You have to use your speed, use what you can do. You got to get that guy. You definitely got to get that guy shot. And then the last mistake he made, after he made 3 mistakes in a row, the teammates at that point were like, then he tried to come in, then he tried to rush and force a pass, which resulted in a turnover. He has to learn to, pick and choose his moments. But, close games like that, you always got to keep your guys involved, because when you're in the trenches, you want your guys to be with you. You can't do it by yourself. Many have tried to do it by themselves. Nobody has ever done it. When Bill is on the floor, on a wing by himself, you got to give him the ball. You got to give him the ball every time. So hopefully he learns from those mistakes. And that's what everybody was talking about with John Wall. He made, you got you got Bradley Beal on the floor. You can't make those mistakes. You definitely got to get him a shot.
Isaiah, I want to go back to the Hoosiers for a second with Oladipo, because what an amazing season he's had. Nate's done a great job with that team, probably underrated, not talked about enough. How dangerous are they when you sit there and look at how well they've been able to play in a season where people kind of left them for dead without Paul George?
I think they're a dangerous team going into the playoffs, but they're not the most dangerous team in the East. But they play well together. They got a good system. Nate McMillan has done a great job, should be considered for Coach of the Year. Oladipo, definitely, his breakout season in the NBA. Now, what will they do in the playoffs? How will they play in the playoffs? Can they be this consistent, this confident once the playoffs start? That remains to be seen.
Candace, you've played in front of great crowds. All of you guys have had great energy kind of push you. We're going to enjoy, I think, all of us watching Game 1 whenever it is in Philadelphia, because that is going to be quite an environment. Assuming Embiid can be there and healthy with Simmons, are they more dangerous than maybe people are talking about?
Obviously, Philly has had a phenomenal season, and Embiid has said through this whole journey, trust the process. And I think, them getting out of the first round and playing in that second round, I think will be big for them, for the city of Philadelphia. Obviously, the future is theirs. Its future is bright. But I look for them to get experience and to make some noise in this play.
Quickly, are they dangerous, Shaq?
They're very dangerous. To just hope that, that they don't have a lot of experience. They're still young. You just have to hope that they can make the playoff adjustment. Same with Boston. With Kyrie out, we're putting a lot on the shoulders of the youngsters. You just have to hope and pray that they can make the playoff adjustment, because it's a different game. Game slows down. Teams get to prepare for you 5 to 7 days, and, defense is going to be focused on you. So hopefully they can make that adjustment. It ain't going to be fast break and Ben Duncan and all that. Game's going to slow down.
We got a once-in-a-generation Shaqton coming up on the other side.
Yes.
Right? Oh, there you go.